Good morning and happy hump day. To the middle of the week, yes, we're getting through. But you know what? This year is like moving super fast. We're already in May. Oh my God, I'll be 55 next month. Ugh, time just does not slow up for anything or for anyone, right? So I hope everyone is up, energized, and feeling blessed on today. I hope that your mindset is that great things are going to happen, good things are coming your way. Take all the negativity, whoever made you mad, whoever talked about you, whatever rumors you heard, take it all, put it in a bag, and throw it in the garbage. And focus on gratitude, everything that you're thankful for. Always the first thing is what I'm thankful that I woke up this morning. I'm thankful that I had shelter over my head. I'm thankful for food to eat. I'm thankful that I had transportation, and the list goes on and on. So let's not do gloom and doom today. Let's look at blessings, positivity, and spreading our love abroad. Okay? So today I thought we'd talk a little bit about cognitive distortions. And I'm going to read some to you. And I have 10. And I want you to think and tell me if you do these things. I think everybody will find at least one that pertains to them. The first one is all or nothing thinking. It says you only see things in two categories. Think about it. And how many of us have black and white thinking? We don't have any gray area. Either it's this or it's that, and we won't consider anything in the middle. It says, example would be, I have to do a great job on everything. Some people have that thought. I got to do everything great or I'm a failure, right? Which we know is not true, because some days we just own it and some days we're not as on it. Some days we wake up with a whole lot of energy, and some days we wake up and we feel like we have no energy. The next one is fortune telling. And it says you make negative predictions about what will happen when other outcomes are more likely. Example would be, I always have trouble figuring out my thoughts. Or I already know I'm going to fail that test. I went for a job interview, but girl, you know I'm not going to get it, right? That's fortune telling. You're attempting to predict the future, but it's not based on any logic. It's not based on any evidence. It's just that you've allowed negative thoughts to come in and tell you that things aren't going to be good, they're going to be bad. Labeling. You put a globally negative label on yourself. I'm a failure for making a mistake. I'm not a good mother. I'm not a good father. I can't do anything right. Don't label yourself, right? When you find yourself thinking things like that, like I'm a failure, where's the evidence? What proof do you have that you're a failure? You really have to think through these thoughts and stop accepting thoughts like they're truth, or that they're just 100% for sure, because they're not. So you have to be able to say, why do I say that about myself? Why do I feel like that? Perhaps you were in a relationship, or perhaps you had parents that constantly told you that you were a failure. That is why that thought is there, not because it's factual. Emotional reasoning. You believe something must be true because it feels true, right? How many times have you thought your spouse or your significant other was cheating on you and it just wasn't true? But just because you said you had a feeling, right? Or I felt like. And I tell people all the time, red flag anytime you say the word I feel. Because I already know we're on sand and not on solid ground. I feel. How many times do we say I feel? I feel hungry. I feel tired. I feel mad. I feel like this is happening. I feel like that's happening. Emotional reasoning. Never go with your emotions. Always question your emotions with logic. Selective abstraction. You pay attention only to the negative aspects of a situation instead of considering the entire experience. And that's true. We'll take one small thing and make that everything. I tell people all the time, if 100 people, no, let's do 99. If 99 people told you that you were gorgeous and you were beautiful and you were great and they just told you all these positive things, you would be smiling, you would be feeling confident, on top of the world, like you could conquer anything. And then that one person could come and be like, ew, no, you're not cute, you ugly. You're not handsome. You ugliest man I ever seen. And your world crumbles. You forget about the 99 and you're stuck on that one comment and you let that devastate your world. You gotta use your logic, you know. There's always gonna be one. There's always gonna be somebody that doesn't like you. There's always gonna be somebody that views you in a way that you don't see yourself. Who cares? Toss it out the window. Matters what you think about yourself. Overgeneralization. You draw a general conclusion on the basis of a small amount of evidence. So you could do one thing and say, I can't do it. Well, there's still 10 more steps. I know, but I can't do it. Stop it. And adjust your mind. Remember the little engine that could. I can. I can. No matter what it feels like, I can. Most of the things we talk ourselves out of is not based on facts, it's based on feeling. Mind reading. You sure you know, you're just so sure, 100% sure you know what other people are thinking about you. You know, you think other people are talking about you. They could be talking about their trip over the weekend, but just because somebody accidentally glanced your way, honey, they are talking about you, and now you mad, or you feel in some type of way, or you feel insecure off of just a thought. So you can't read nobody's mind, right? And if you can, go on TV and make you some money, honey. Personalization. You take others' actions personally when they actually have other intentions. So in other words, somebody bumps into you. That was on purpose. Now she playing games. That was on purpose. Stop. Everything is not about you. And I'm sorry, but sometimes we really think we're so much more important than we are. I can remember when I first started going out to eat by myself, my biggest fear was that everybody was going to be looking at me and judging me like, oh, poor her. She doesn't have anybody to eat lunch with, you know, and I didn't want to go. But I went anyway, and lo and behold, nobody was looking at me. Nobody cared. So I got to the point I'd go out, I could eat by myself, I'd take a book, and I'd be reading a book, or I'd be talking, whatever. I had a good time. We're not as important as we think, so don't personalize. Imperatives. You have an unreasonably rigid idea about how you and others should or must behave, right? So you know how people get really super judgmental because you were taught, you know, let's just say, don't sing at the table. So it's kind of freaking you out that somebody's singing at the table, or it's irritating you that somebody's singing at the table. Those are imperatives. Just because you feel like it should be doesn't mean it has to be, especially when it's pertaining to other people, because they are in control of themselves. You do not control them. They live their own lives. The last one is magnification and minimization. Okay. You magnify the negatives and minimize the positives, right? So in other words, again, you focus on the negative, you make it bigger than what it is, and then you take the positive and you make it like it's no big deal, right? So those are cognitive distortions that you should be aware of, and see if you're doing any of those, and that way you can correct them and not think that way anymore. When you realize what you're doing, you can say, okay, I can't read minds, so let me stop. I don't know what they're talking about, and it's none of my business because they're not talking to me. We cause our self a lot of anguish and a lot of problems because we're in our heads. We're stuck in our heads. We start thinking in our heads. We don't get no facts, and we're off. We're depressed. We're sad. We're mad. We want to fight somebody, right? Or we're so excited, and that stuff that we're so excited about that we just figured was going to happen never happens. Then we go from up here to spiral down, boom. So be self-aware today of where you are, what you're thinking, what you're doing, and don't be in a robotic mode just because this is what I do every day. Look at it like not that, oh, I'm going to work, I do the same thing every day. But guess what? It's still a new experience. It's still a new day. There's still 100 things that can happen differently. It's up to us. If we have that mindset of, oh, it's the same old stuff, we may miss the beauty of the day and things that are happening and what other people are doing. And, be able to take joy in somebody else's upcoming. If somebody gets a new car, be excited for them and be like, that's awesome, that's amazing. Don't feel like, she didn't have to get that, or she didn't need that, oh, she can't afford it, blah blah blah. Just be like, oh, that's awesome. And because one day maybe I'll get one, or maybe I just bought one, or maybe I'm gonna ride my car till the wheels fall off. Guess what? It doesn't matter, because it's all about what I want for myself in my life. So everybody, be blessed. Have a wonderful, beautiful day today. And as always, let's go out with the mindset of making today amazing.